Greetings, fellow armchair Imagineers. Tiki here.
And BlueDragonFive.
And welcome to the Main Street Cinema, the show where we discuss the finer points in filmmaking. And tonight we're talking about the trailer for Solo, a Star Wars story that kind of just dropped on us sort of out of nowhere, Dragon. I don't think anyone on the internet was really expecting this, but Dragon, I wanted to jump on this as soon as I could because I feel like there is a ray of hope throughout the galaxy for this movie. I feel like people are breathing a collective sigh of relief. To quote Han Solo in the movie itself, in the trailer, I have a really good feeling about this. That's my first reaction, Dragon. That was my reaction upon seeing this trailer. This trailer pretty much gave me everything I wanted. It expanded on the plot that we saw in the first trailer. It gave us a couple really good standout Lando bits, but I feel like they're saving all the good Lando stuff, which has me excited. Most importantly, Dragon, I feel like the dynamic between Han and Chewie is just impeccable, and they nailed it. And I'm like, yeah, that's what you need for a Han Solo movie. And just the more we see of this movie, including Alden Ehrenreich. What?
No, never mind. You got it. Just the pronunciation.
Yeah, including Alden Ehrenreich. The more we see even of him, the more I'm like, okay, I'm digging this movie. I don't think it's going to be a masterpiece of a Star Wars movie by any means, but I don't think it's trying to be. I honestly think this movie is kind of aiming to be the B movie of Star Wars in kind of a fun, sort of self-aware kind of way. So, Dragon, I got to admit, I'm really positive on it after being somewhat negative on the first trailer. I'm coming into this, I have a newfound excitement for this movie now. I'd wager to say this trailer, Dragon, you're probably going to disagree with me on this point, but hey, that's what cinema's for, right? All film is subjective and whatnot. I would say with this trailer, it officially put Solo, a Star Wars story above Deadpool 2 in my anticipated rankings.
Well, yes, I agree. I disagree with that very much so. Yes.
Well, you know what?
I get it's subjective. I know.
Yeah. All right. So, Dragon, do you disagree that this is a good trailer, though?
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was a good trailer. It filled me a little bit more hope in these very cynical times because everyone's just been bagging on Solo, a Star Wars story. I was like, hey, give it a chance. We'll see how it goes. Again, not really like not betting a lot of money on it, let's say, but it's just like, you know what, I'm hoping it's going to be at least good. It'll be Han Solo. I mean, even like so far, it sounds like a lot of people's complaints are going to be, they're doing all the iconic stuff. That's what I want to see in a Han Solo movie. I want to see all the iconic stuff. And basically, when this dropped, that was it came out of nowhere, and I just figured. I fear we weren't talking about it tonight because, oh man, Diggy's just going to bag on it initially. And I was watching it.
Look, Dragon, if I was going to bag on it, I wouldn't have even wanted to talk about it because we did all the bagging in the first trailer. But why I wanted to talk about it tonight was because I feel like this trailer has done such a good job of quelling over all the fans.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I was watching it, and I was thinking, I like this, and I think it's like, hey, it's a step in the right direction. Good for Solo. I mean, I like it. I don't know if anybody else does, but I'm still like, it's lovely. I think it's more on steady ground than it was before, and it was kind of. He's been taking a few steps in the right direction. I'm thinking, like, I don't know. I'd like to think that Tiki would like this, but I'm just convinced that he's going to be all cynical towards it, like the other guys. I abandoned. I think if Tiki's smart, he's going to like this, but you know what? I don't know.
Well, no, it's not just me, Dragon. Like I said, I think collectively from the reaction that I've seen from people like the Schmoes and John Campia and Collider, they all seem to be really on board with it, and not just in a red letter media, like, very cool kind of pat themselves on the back kind of way, in a genuinely, like, interested and curious from a fan perspective kind of way. All right. So with that in mind, Dragon, let's, do you want to go start with the frame by frame through the trailer?
Yeah!
Okay. So what do you think of the Western music we have set up here?
Well, you know me, Tiki. I'm always game for a little Western here and there.
Yeah, and I hope that this is kind of a new thing that they're doing with these standalone Star Wars movies is, I think the template that they have that they're kind of working with that, that's going to work really well, Dragon, going forward, especially if the next standalone movie that we see is the Obi-Wan movie that we all want, is mixing a heist movie with a Western vibe.
I mean, I'm always hopeful for that. Every time we get like kind of a Western comparison with Han Solo, I keep thinking of that one of our favorite documentaries of Empire of Dreams, where you have that moment where they use that deleted scene from the '97 version of A New Hope, where Han's stepping out and he has like, like basically have the Western shot of Han Solo, and everyone says, it's kind of a space Western, and we show that shot, and I keep thinking, yeah, Han Solo and Western, yeah, it kind of goes hand in hand to a degree. It's kind of like a bandito kind of going into place. It's kind of like a sheriff in a lawless town to a degree. Of course, as always, he's a smuggler. So he's always at the end of the day, Han Solo's a little more pirate, and that's where the heist comes into play. A little bit more kind of a rogue, always kind of a roguish element, but at the same time, always got that kind of that Western kind of gunslinger quality. And I love this. I love this shot, by the way. I love this. The visually, we see the Empire is over our heads. Visually, the Empire is always watching. It's kind of a good, kind of ominous, kind of little visual.
It very much reminds me of how Rogue One did it. But I have a feeling in this movie, like with Rogue One, it was already to the point where the Empire was this looming Nazi-like presence in the galaxy. This movie, I have a feeling it's going to be more like the Empire is going to be like, we're going to see a lot of propaganda. Like, join the Empire, kid. You'll love it.
Yeah. Which, given what we saw in the last trailer, it sounds possible.
Sure. Okay, I love the...
So it's cool here. We're seeing more of the galactic underworld that's kind of given Han his foray into, into the criminal underworld. Yeah?
What? Can you hear me?
Yeah, well, I can hear you, but, I mean, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right. Anyway. What was I going on about? Oh, yes. So, I like this kind of foray into the galactic underworld, seeing kind of how Han kind of got involved in everything. So, it's kind of explaining some of these other cool cryptic shots we got in the previous trailers. Like, it's kind of like a secret meeting ground he's kind of going to, and like an underground kind of gambling den of some kind.
If I had one complaint in the trailer, Dragon, it's that this opening minute or so, there's a little too much Emilia Clarke.
Emilia Clarke?
The female voice that you hear.
Oh. I didn't know that.
I don't know. It's like, I get that she's like one of the most popular characters on Game of Thrones, so they want to exploit her for that, but I just know nothing about her character. I'm not invested in her character. We know that her character is not going to end up with Han by the end of the movie, so why should we really care?
Yeah.
Again, that's the one nitpick I have. I'm very uncynical about everything else, I assure you.
Well, I like the question that she's posing here, and she's asking, Han, what are you after? Revenge, money, something else? And this is the shot I'm talking about. It's very much from Empire Dreams, that kind of gunslinger shot, and that's kind of what they're, again, not from Empire Dreams, they're pulling from like that, that deleted Jabba scene from A New Hope. That's what they're kind of pulling this framing from. Of course, it's classic Western image. I'm just saying it's very reminiscent of like, okay, well, that's kind of one of those images you think of with Han Solo, the guy who shoots first. That's kind of what they're saying with this shot.
Oh, you better believe there's going to be a moment in this movie where it's like, I always shoot first.
Exactly. And honestly, what I think we're getting with a lot of that, with that idea of like, what are you after, Han Solo? That, I think they're handling a lot better than they did in the last trailer. Where the last trailer was like a little vague, like, are we going to go like a whole like Han Solo secretly is a good guy story? Because that's not what this movie should be. And what we're doing here instead, and cleverly it looks like, is we're doing what the original, like that, that first teaser trailer was really all about, where it's like, he's a pilot looking for purpose like Luke Skywalker was, and this is how he found his place in the galaxy, through the criminal underworld.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Dragon.
I'm loving that idea. Like
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
That's the idea I really love, and I really want to see in this movie. Just how kind of Han kind of finds his place, and again, he's not necessarily looking for revenge or money. He's kind of looking for something else. That something else being, how he can do what he loves in a galaxy.
He's a bright-eyed kid, Dragon. He wants adventure in the Great White somewhere.
Exactly.
He wants it more than he can tell. I'm serious, though. That's kind of the dynamic, like, bright-eyed, like, that's what we're going for. We're going with a Han Solo who's not yet been been saddened by the world, who's not yet been disappointed by the world, and I'm excited to see that arc. Okay, so Dragon. Most trailers, we have money shots of big CGI monsters or an explosion or, like a car chase. But this trailer, right up the front, we don't need any more money shot than Mr. Donald Glover as Lando motherfucking Calrissian. Oh
Yes,
my
the
god.
Deadpool dream killer himself, Donald Glover.
Yep, unfortunately.
I know it's not his fault. I'm just mad about it all. That's all.
I'm sorry, we're still building up to him, but just seeing early peaks of him, and then we're gonna get a great proper introduction to him a little later on in the trailer.
Yeah.
I don't know, Dragon. Like I said, I have my reservations about the character. I don't want to dwell on it, but she ain't Leia.
Well, again, you gotta remember, he's probably gonna Han Solo is kind of implied to be a lady, a ladies' killer. So there's gonna be women before Leia, and I think she's gonna be one of those women.
I refuse to accept that Han Solo has dated before Leia. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
Yeah. It was meant to be.
All right. So we get a little bit more context on the Woody Harrelson.
Okay, hold on.
Yeah.
Right there. There's Paul I'm pretty sure it's Paul Bettany.
Bettany, yes.
Yeah, it's Paul Bettany as Dryden Voss. Now, Voss, essentially, I just looked that up just to see what the name of our guy was. He's essentially our crime boss who was either commissioning all this or he's the target. One of the two.
I'm pretty sure he's the one who's the person behind the job.
Sure. And I gotta tell you, I like the look on the, I don't know, it's not much, and it's kind of hard to glean from a trailer. It's like, it kind of looks a little imposing with all the scars and crap.
It's interesting. I have bigger reservations about the weapon that he's using that we see later in the trailer. That doesn't look very intimidating. But we'll see. Dragon, what I'm wondering is, I really want to see a freaking Jabba the Hutt cameo in this movie. I understand not making Jabba a main character or anything, but man, I really think we need a Hutt.
Well, if anything, possibly through Dryden Voss, but it could be like a part of a double cross or it's something saved for the very end. I would imagine that Jabba the Hutt is impressed by the young Han Solo, or if they want to go really impressive with things, and they could. This is a Han Solo roughly, I'm going to say roughly 15 or 20 years. There's probably an official number you can find, so I'm just going to say this probably takes place like 15 to at most 20 years before the events of A New Hope. And looking at it that way, you could have a Jabba the Hutt, or because we know Jabba comes from a family of Hutts, we could have like kind of almost like a Godfather story starting to unfurl, which is something I'd love to see expanded upon in an Obi-Wan movie. And that could be like a running through line between the the anthology films that you see.
Oh, dude, I like that. I like that.
You have kind of like basically Jabba starts off as Michael Corleone, and he turns into Vito by the time we get to Obi-Wan.
Ooh, yeah. Okay, that's some good stuff there, Dragon.
And he kind of sees potential in Han Solo, and that's why he hires him for jobs. By the time we get to like that Obi-Wan, that's why he's impressed by him, either ripping off his friend or that his friend he saw.
And then in Obi-Wan, we can get Han Solo working for Jabba the Hutt, kind of as a nuisance to Obi-Wan, perhaps.
Maybe it has to be at a distance, but they could still get away with it because he's never really he doesn't know Obi-Wan by name, obviously, but he could have met him just not knowing like the name.
Right. Okay, anyways, continuing on.
Sure. Of course, some land speeder stuff. Loving our land speeder stuff.
I love this. He's like, I'm a driver. I'm a pilot. I'm a flyer. Dragon, I don't know. Just the delivery on Ehrenreich just seems more and more convincing the more we get into it. And I'm relieved to say I really think the approach that him and the filmmakers, both Lord and Miller and Ron Howard, probably directed him with was the Star Trek, using Star Trek as an example, specifically Chris Pine, where Chris Pine kind of radiates the the Shatner charm, but he's not doing an imitation of Shatner. I feel like that's the kind of thing we're getting with Han Solo here.
Sure, sure. We have a line later on that I think sounds just like what they should be aiming for with Han Solo. We'll get to that later. It sounds, I think, just it sounds like a young, like basically, it's the most out of all the lines he's had in any of these shows. It sounds like okay, I can buy him as young Han Solo.
Sure, sure.
Because again, look wise, I think he has it down. It's, again, that attitude you can't. It's really hard to glean from trailers, but I think this trailer kind of cracked the code on. Okay, I buy it.
And like we said, we're dealing with a more naive Han Solo than the one in Episode 4, so that's another thing that we're going to kind of have to get used to with the performance. This is a bit more, this kid is kind of seeing the world through more rose-tinted glasses than our usual Han Solo.
And again, that Luke parallel is fast. That's my big hook for this movie, T. That's what I'm really interested to see. Kind of that Luke parallel begin. Like, what if Luke was able to kind of live out his dreams, but through a different, from a less kind of like we're on the good guy side kind of perspective.
Mm-hmm. Right, like he's saying right now, he's waited a long time for a shot like this, and that's, that can kind of parallel Luke's journey, where, Luke stayed around for a long time. He was kind of burdened by his aunt and uncle until the call to destiny literally, showed up at his door.
And burned his aunt and uncle alive. And again, here's a winning thing of this show, and this is probably why it's getting a lot of good buzz. And it's well earned. I'm just saying, and later on, this feeds into the bit I was kind of hyping up earlier. Han and Chewie's friendship and their dynamic is more in focus here, and that's a very smart choice. And that's very much, again, that's an element that people I'm sure will really want to see.
Especially after Chewie was kind of unceremoniously sat out of The Last Jedi.
Yeah, he was there, but there was definitely more we could have done with Chewie. Yeah. Mm-hmm. If we didn't do chases on casino plants, we might have more time for some Chewie.
That's what I'm saying.
Like Chewie kind of becoming best buddies with a porg. You never know.
All right, but yeah, it's really refreshing to see, and I think they nail it.
Yeah,
what do you know?
It's kind of funny. I like that, and I could be reading into this. It's hard to tell. I like in that previous shot. It looks like Chewie's a little shorter, and I like to think that. It shows I like we can see little subtle changes. Like he has a different kind of bandolier, whatever the ammo clips that he has on his he has across him, like the ammo clips or the bullets or the bandoliers. I think it's a bandolier. It might be. I forget if that's the weapon or if that's the little thing he wears. Sure. Regardless, he has a different version of that. There's no gray on the design, and I think he looks a little shorter. So it looks like a younger Chewbacca. And I think they kind of. Again, young by how much, as we learn in this trailer, but still, I think it shows it's a different Chewie than we've had before, more active Chewie, to say the least.
Okay, this is one of my favorite shots, just for the world building of it all. I love this kind of implied woolly mammoth type creature.
Oh yeah.
Okay, and here we go, Dragon. This is what I'm talking about. This is how you do a money shot of a character. So they're talking about smugglers, the best smuggler around. Yeah, I know a guy.
Wearing a fancy cape.
Oh, yeah. And Solo's like, I heard a rumor about you. I was wondering if it's true. And what does he say, Dragon?
Everything you've heard about me is true.
And that's the first line that we really get delivered by Lando Calrissian in this marketing. And honestly, Dragon, it's perfect.
Oh, yeah.
It's everything I wanted it to be, and I'm glad that they're keeping a lot of this guy's stuff under wraps, because I have a feeling he's going to be by far the big highlight of the movie, and I really don't want to see too much of him in the trailers.
Idea.
Go ahead.
Looking at that parallel, Tiki, that Luke parallel, that means if Han Solo is probably the coolest character in Star Wars, that means for this movie, Lando Calrissian is the Han Solo for Han's Luke.
Sure.
Part of this movie.
So yeah, I, like everyone else, am just going head over heels for Donald Glover as Lando. I think it's perfect casting.
I'm excited, but there's a little festering you.
Oh, get over it! Get over it.
I'll get over it in time. Darn it.
All right, so here we have L3. My only thought on L3, Dragon, that I keep coming back to is that it's a very similar robot to Captain Rex from Star Tours.
As we see, L3 is a pilot, so it's the same model of pilot. If anything,
that's what I'm saying.
Confirms it. That should get you excited, right?
Oh yeah, it does get me excited. I just hope that they like acknowledge like it would blow my mind if we got an in-universe acknowledgement of Star Tours Dragon. That's my ultimate dream.
That would be cool. The only thing that might get in the way of that, only detail that might get in the way with that. I mean, had this been done before the remodel of Star Tours, I think that'd be a certainty, Tiki. But the problem is, now we've updated and we've changed it, and it's a question of, I know they worked in Captain Rex into that ride somewhere, but do you remember do you remember
Captain
where they
Rex is
put him?
like a new model that's like ready to go on the shelves, but he's not quite ready.
Okay, well, yeah, I don't know. Maybe there's a shot at getting like a little. I'm sure it's gonna be like an Easter egg of that. I don't know if there's gonna be like a bit where they have like a throwaway line or anything. I think it'll be in the background somewhere, maybe. Like if you basically for like a keen eye, if you're looking for it, you'll probably.
Dragon, could you imagine if they actually had a sequence where Han Solo had to hijack a Star Tours vessel and had to take like a group of tourists through an asteroid field or something like that?
Well, Tiki, one that would be like the one of the best sequences in all of Star Wars, first and foremost. But
And then there's a Wookiee on board, and a little kid takes a flash picture, and the Wookiee starts freaking out.
Here's why it would be great if they did that. It'd be great. I doubt it, but it would be fantastic because what we'd have is we'd have that Han Solo, that we all know and love from that scene in New Hope where he's saying like, "Oh, I'm fine. How are you?" The Han Solo is kind of in a high stress situation, he's having some levity. He says, "Okay, folks, and on your right," like a little kid like taking a picture of Chewie, and he's freaking out. Chewie, calm down.
Oh my god. All right, so
Oh, look, the
anyways.
Empire. Let's go the other way.
Anyways,
So yeah, so L3 is kind of cool.
let go of the mean man's face. Nice shot of the Falcon. Nice overhead shot right here.
Just imagining, I'm thinking of Mask of the Phantasm when Bruce sees the model for the Batmobile the first time.
Yeah.
I'm thinking it kind of like Han getting mesmerized, like, oh my god, that is a fine looking ship.
And it is a very fine looking ship in its day. It's not beat up. That's what I love about the look of the Falcon in this movie. It's pristine.
I could be, be crazy, but it looks like what's going to happen to the Falcon is you'll notice in this shot the Falcon looks awfully tall. It looks like it has like a front end on it. Like it's really extended. I would presume that the front end at the end of this movie, the front end's going to get cut off, and they're going to repair it. And that's why, because I don't remember the Falcon being that. No, I don't remember being that. Except, oh, wait a minute. Oh my God, yeah. Here's the thing. So it's going to be they're going to cut the top off. So they're going to cut the top of it off, and it has that little indentation at the front, which this doesn't have. So this thing's going to be battle damage. I'm saying to be the iconic, it doesn't have to have in this movie. I presume by the end of this movie they'll do that during the Kessel run.
Right.
But regardless, I'm just saying this thing's going to definitely get some damage to get the iconic Falcon shape. It doesn't have that right now. It has like this big kind of Pinocchio nose on it.
I hear you.
All right. Again, this is good. Like kind of Beckett outlined the crossroads that Han's making his choice here. There's no going back if you're down for this mission.
Mm-hmm. Might want to buckle up, baby. I'm sorry, just this guy is just radiating charisma, Dragon. You just need to get over your Deadpool hate.
No, look, I'll get over. I know it wasn't all his fault. I'm just saying, it's like Glover, you were the key. You were the chosen one, Glover. You were the chosen one.
God.
But do you remember? I have a crazy question. I don't know why I can't remember this, but the Millennium Falcon, does it have back seats when we have it down the line?
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure.
All right, because I don't know why. Because I've never really seen the back seats unoccupied. I guess that's what it is.
That's probably what it is because there's people like Leia and Chewie always sit there.
Yeah, that's the thing. And the effect is it always looks like they're standing behind them, and they I guess they can when it's idle, but I don't know. It's kind of strange. I never thought about it.
Okay.
Train sequence.
Yeah, of course. We've already seen this in the first trailer, so we know it's coming.
What's cool though is we got a good look at the gravity boots. Like the boots that kind of cling onto the ship.
Woody Harrelson saying, "Let me give you some advice. Assume everyone you know will betray you," which, of course, we get a shot of Lando as that's happening.
Now again, that is a very
And the kind of the City shot, Dragon. Do you think this is Cloud City that we're seeing right here?
well. I mean, if it is, I presume that Lando is going to be kind of enamored by it,
Uh-huh.
and he'll like, oh man, Cloud City. Like honestly, Han and Lando will probably be hanging out on Cloud City for a while. If this is, and it looks cloudy enough, I guess.
Uh-huh.
I could buy it, as in basically the idea is they're probably gonna have like, a really good time there, and then he'll want to come back years later. Now,
Right.
I love this lesson that's in the trailer here. The whole assume everyone will betray. One, it's justifying Woody Harrelson's role as the mentor, and secondly, again, with Lando being focused here, it's establishes something really important going into this movie that being a smuggler, you're going to be betrayed by everyone around you, if not betraying others. Because we know Lando, and of course in uh, in Empire Strikes Back, his first line to Han in a joking way is "You no good, rotten swindler." And that implies that maybe, not necessarily, but maybe Han turned on him. Maybe he betrayed Lando.
Well, we don't know exactly what went down with the Falcon. Maybe there was some dirty business in play there. Maybe Han cheated on the bet.
Yeah. Oh, it's a
Right.
small detail, but as you saw in our main kind of screen grab, but it's in the casino scene earlier. I like the little. I like how the cards are cut in like a non-card like manner, like they're all hexagonal or something. Like,
Yeah,
it's nice little
yeah.
space. They're space cards. Wookiee love.
Yeah, what do you think of this, Dragon? Is it Itchy from the Star Wars Holiday Special?
Tiki, I gotta tell you, I think as if they do that, it's a Lord and Miller kind of hold on from the holdover. Sorry, it's a holdover from the Lord and Miller days on the movie. If it's itchy, if it's that Wookiee love story has to be from them.
God.
They make it itchy. They well. No, wait a minute. Itchy's the grandfather. Darn it! It's got to be something else. It can't be. Well, you know what I
Well,
mean.
hey,
Like
just because it's Wookiee love doesn't mean it's sexual love. You know what I mean? It could be the love between a grandson and a grandfather.
I'm
You
saying,
never know.
he's making out with it.
Is he? Let's see. Yeah, you don't know. They're just
Well,
embracing each other.
yeah. Wait a minute. I think it goes into the. They get really close. Yeah, right there. Okay. The point is, it's what. Look, the fact is, I don't think it. I can't remember the Wookiee names. I'm pretty sure Itchy was the grandfather. Regardless, the point is the Chewbacca's wife. All right,
Okay,
that's got
okay.
to be. It's got to be Chewie's. I would if they. I'm sure we're gonna go back to the Star Wars Holiday Special and find out like who that is before the movie comes out. We're gonna see. Oh boy, if we hear that name on this female Wookiee, it's gonna be amazing. It's such an amazing deep cut reference. They justified the holiday special. Lord Miller left. It's like a Lord Miller was here moment.
Well, it's kind of like the all the Michael Pena scenes from Ant-Man are definitely Edgar Wright was here moments.
Yeah, it's like oh they tagged the movie. It's like how in all right, it's like how J.J. Abrams he. Yeah, well, it had to be Abrams. Like on the Millennium Falcon, when they built the Millennium Falcon, they put a few Easter eggs on the bottom of it. It's like there's like R2D2, and there's an R2D2, and for the life of me, I can't remember which Falcon it is. I don't know if it's a movie one or not, but they put a Batmobile on the bottom of the Millennium Falcon.
Oh, nice.
I don't know if that was Force Awakens or not, but I know there was a Millennium Falcon built that has the Christopher Nolan Batmobile at the bottom of it.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, regardless, like little like, hey, they were here. Ah.
So I still hope this isn't like a giant tentacle monster, even though it looks like it is.
I don't know. It's hard to tell because I remember last time we were hoping that it was going to be like the giant worm thing, the giant like.
Which I still hope so. I still hope it's the giant worm, but I
Still
don't
hard to
know.
tell. I don't know.
I'm not a big fan of giant tentacle monsters in Star Wars.
Well, it could be worse, Tiki. It could just be like a giant gaping space hole, like debris raining around. Okay, now here's again one of the cleverest things in this. One of the cleverest lines. It's a simple line, but it's so fun. So the biggest running gag in all of Star Wars is I got a bad feeling about this, and we're for a change. The optimistic line of the trailers. I've got a really good feeling about this.
Dragon, as soon as I saw that, I was sold on this movie, and I wanted to talk about it immediately.
And I'm telling you, that's the line. I'm not just saying this because you're saying that to you. I swear to you, that's the line. Which says, you know what? I mean, I would love it if a part of me hoped that if Tiki could like anything in this trailer, it would be this moment. But I don't know.
I love it. I love it. I think it's perfect. I think it and this encapsulates the performance from Solo that we're wanting to get, which is this isn't Harrison Ford Solo. This is a younger, more naive Solo who's a little bit more bright-eyed.
Yeah. I think my line's coming up, the one I've been hyping up. I think it's next. But this is a great line, though. Again, this one sets the tone for the trailer.
This, to me, is the moment of the trailer. All right.
I'll agree with you there. This is the moment of the trailer. But for me, though, the line that kind of sells you on Aaron Reich is right here. This, well, the payoff to this gag here. So, why do you know how to fly?
You're 190 years old.
You look great.
And I'm assuming the delivery and the timing of "you look great" is very Harrison Ford-esque.
Yeah, it's Han and Chewie's back and forth that they've had since, especially in Empire Strikes Back, but in New Hope, Empire, the whole thing. Even as we saw in Force Awakens, it's their timing nailed down there, and the way Alden sounds in this scene, it sounds like a young Harrison Ford from '77, like that Han Solo on the intercom saying, "Oh, we're fine. How are you?" It sounds like that.
Right.
And that's
but I feel like, unlike that, I feel like the moment in the first trailer where they tried to do that was everything's fine, we're fine. I feel like there wasn't a lot of context behind this. With this, we know the context is the Chewie stuff. We know exactly what we're expecting from this, and so I think it comes off a lot better both with the fans and the general audience.
Yeah, and of course the iconic line that follows. Right. Punch it!
Oh, yeah.
Telling Chewie to punch it for maybe the first time. Oh, boy.
I love this beach location.
Yeah, it is quite beachy.
Okay, and this is the thing I'm talking about with the villain. I'm not quite sure what these double-sided blade things that he's fighting with are. They look I don't know. It's like, really, are we just not allowed to have lightsabers in standalone movies?
Well, remember the whole lightsaber thing. It's a little more until years later. We're not really breaking the whole mold of like only the Jedi and the Sith have lightsabers. So,
I guess I just think this weapon looks a little puny in comparison.
It's kind of hard to see, Tiki. Just let it play a thing for me so I can get a good look at it.
You only see it for what about?
Oh, there we go. There's a good shot.
Yeah.
Huh. That's a little more impressive than I was thinking it was going to be. It's like a brass knuckles with like a laser. It's a laser blade with brass knuckles. It's kind of neat.
We'll see how it plays in the movie. I'm not sold on this villain yet.
Well, again, it's it's a quick shot in the trailer. It's kind of hard to. Yeah.
Sure.
Some action bits.
Oh, this is you want to see the best action shot of Chewbacca ever?
Well, yes.
Bam. Hold on, let's see that one more time. Bam.
Yeah.
One more time, just for good measure, because I can't get sick of seeing it. Bam. All right, I'm done.
We have like either a sarcastic or a fun line. So glad we took this job.
Kind of reminds me of K2SO.
Yeah. We gotta have like basically there's the documentary made recently with Muppeteers called
Muppet Guys Talking.
Yeah, Muppet Guys Talking, and I just gotta imagine the droids of Star Wars, just the droids like in characters, kind of sitting around having a conversation. You get C-3PO, you get K2SO, like the actors who portray themselves in the movies. I just think that the big old gives it kind of big old powwow about things.
And oh no, Dragon, I can't believe they put this spoiler in the movie. Is Chewbacca gonna die? Oh, well, boy, is he gonna die, Dragon? Did they give that away? Is that too much?
Well, Tiki, the Chewbacca might be like the John equivalent of the Wookiee world. There might be like a billion Chewbaccas he
Oh
could find.
no!
You go,
Oh no!
it could be like the John Smith of Wookiee names.
Oh man!
Well, we saw another Wookiee in the trailer, Tiki. Again, he's probably going to Kashyyyk and says, "Oh yeah, I'm mourning the loss of my previous Wookiee companion. Oh hi there, the food's quite nice at this funeral. Don't you say you want to go on adventures together? Honor memory of your friend Chewie? Oh boy!"
Now that Dragon, that would be a twist. I would applaud the filmmakers for doing that. I really would. Oh
Chewbacca had a
man.
twin. Chewbacca had like a twin cousin.
Okay, Dragon. Final thoughts.
Final thoughts. Again, I felt step in the right direction. I felt to me like, hey, there's a step that's going to get some of the kind of the flack off this movie's back. Optimistically, it's like, hey, this is a step in the right direction. It's getting some more iconic bits, selling me more on Aaron Rice. Basically, I think it's on steadier ground than it was before, and I'm pulling for it. I really am. I'm hoping this movie, at the very least, I'm hoping it's going to be entertaining. It doesn't have to blow everyone out of the water. I don't expect it to make all the money like Infinity War is going to make, despite it being a Star Wars film. I'm just hoping it's going to be, I hope it's going to be good. I'm hoping Ron Howard delivers, man.
Yeah, I'm much more optimistic about this movie than I was. I think this trailer is a perfect step in the right direction. I think they landed three things just right. All the Lando stuff in this movie is perfect. The "I've got a great feeling about this" line is that just is, it's the ultimate kind of like confidence builder for me. And then all the Han and Chewbacca stuff, like they really put the emphasis back on that friendship, which they should. So all three of those things kind of combined, Dragon, really roots my interest in this thing. And I gotta say, I'm kind of on the lookout. I'm kind of in Infinity Wars paranoia mode of when are the tickets gonna go on sale? I want to buy my ticket. I want to secure my seat. It's like I'm that excited about this now.
All right.
All right, folks. Well, thanks for joining us. And in the meantime, I don't know.
Punch it, Tiki.
Yes. Yes. Trying to come up with a Star Wars holiday special joke, but
I don't know, Tiki. I get a good feeling about this movie.
all right.